Welcome to a special review for Gone to the Dogs as we look back on the action over the weekend, starting in Newcastle Thursday. Delighted to be joined new people on Gone to the Dogs this week. We've got Michael Smythe, Graham Banks and Chris Oliver. You would have seen them all, of course, with Greyhound News UK. But we're going to try something new for Gone to the Dogs. A little bit more content. Me, myself and the lads. Bit of a talking head, really, looking back at what the main action was over the last week. So, morning all. How are we? Good weekend of racing. Michael, enjoy it?
Yeah, some terrific action across the weekends. Like we said, the Almal at Oxford, the two category ones at Hove. Plenty to go over on the video. Looking forward to it, Joe.
Yeah, he did mention his 16-1 winner he put at Newcastle, but we'll come to that in a minute. But Graham, yeah, so plenty going on. We've seen some special performances that we're going to come into in a minute. But yeah, it was an action-packed weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. I watched all the racing from Hove on Saturday night and just couldn't believe some of the performances you saw. The likes of Papa Arrest, Mong as well, which we'll come to in a little while. But yeah, the action was superb, and obviously got a load of good finals coming this weekend as well. So really brilliant weekend to look forward to.
Chris, enjoy it. How was the boxing? Anything getting in your way from watching the Dogs this week?
Yeah, I watched the boxing on Saturday night. Unfortunately, a bit of an unlucky loser. Tipped Ryan Garner to run points. He stopped in the last round, but the dogs fared a bit better. Had a bit more luck with the dogs, thankfully. But yeah, cracking racing Saturday night, and he's coming thick and fast, isn't he? The category one action at the moment, as he always does after the derby. So just absolutely loving it at the moment.
It does. We seem to have like all these competitions, then we get maybe like a week off where you just downtime, and then all of a sudden it's right. There's 4 more starting that you've got to get your teeth stuck into. So yeah, really good stuff. But it did start at Newcastle Thursday. Gone to the Dogs Live was there. I was there myself, and a brilliant night at Newcastle for the Time Ground Nutrition Northern Flat Final and the Arena Racing Company Angel of the North. Prestigious competitions in the ground racing world. Of course, ground racing turned 99 years old on Thursday as well at Newcastle. So we're into a special year, the centenary year has started. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty going on throughout the year up until July 24th next year. But we had 2 fantastic finals at Newcastle on Thursday, Chris, and look, the bitches final. I was gutted. I put up Killiford Hannah when me and Michael did our anti-post preview of 33-1. I was adamant when they went over the line that she had got up and she had won. But when you've seen the still, it does favour the outside of Newcastle when you see them photos, and it certainly did with Scared Josie. Only 12 weeks out of season listening to Jimmy Fenwick, so a fantastic training performance from Jimmy, Melanie and all the team. But a cracking final as well. Domino Who took him along. Copy Sapphire, the favourite, didn't get a run. But a brilliant buckle between Domino Who, Scared Josie, Killiford Hannah, with Scared Josie coming out on top by a short head.
Yeah, it was a cracking race, wasn't it? I mean, Scared Josie didn't have things all the way on way. She was chopped off by Domino Who at the second bend, and then sort of came together with it, turning for home. But showed a real guts and determination to get back up on the home straight. But yeah, you carry yourself very unlucky with the Killiford Hannah as well, because that was an absolute belter. There was nothing to separate them at the Lamb, really. But a good night for Jimmy Fenwick. That was his 3rd win on the night, and impressive performance, really, from the Scared Josie to get back up.
Yeah, we'll come to a special performance later on when we've finished these 2 races. But Graham, when you watched it live, who did you think had won?
To be honest, I didn't know. I mean, I know during the commentary, I think Darryl called Killiford Hannah as the winner. I think yourself after the race said you thought it was well Killiford Hannah. I wasn't sure. I couldn't call either well as it. I was sat on the fence, firmly on the fence. I couldn't call it, but my initial reaction probably was Killiford Hannah. But like I say, looking at the still, yeah, you were getting more to Scare Josie, but it was a fantastic finish either way.
I've called plenty wrong at Perry Bar. Don't worry about that when commentating that the Sky. So yeah, it wasn't a surprise when they announced Scared Josie win. But Michael, just a really good race. You know, Scared Josie, who I thought probably had to lead. I thought she was one of the bitches that really had to get off the front. But I suppose when Domino Who, she doesn't quite stay. She stays. Look, she'll get better in time. She's very lightly raced. But I thought it was Killiford Hannah's to lose, where she turned from the 3rd bend. But not to be. Jimmy Fenwick, as the lad said, a great night for him, and this just capped it off, really.
Yeah, it was a terrific final. Very, very competitive. I think off the final bend, 3 or 4 of them were in with a chance. Domino Who, like you say, will strengthen with time, but I think all eyes were on Hannah. And I'll be honest, Joe, I thought you were onto a winner there. You know, as they hit the line, like yourself, I thought Hannah got up and you were collecting a nice 33-1 outright winner, but unfortunately not to be. So I hope you're back there each way.
No, I didn't. I didn't have a play, actually. It was just one that we put up, and Yeah, look, you're still sitting on over 8-1, so it would have been nice. But yeah, not to be. And while we're talking, Jimmy, fantastic for the show, for Greyhound Racing, to see Coppice Gracie go on and do the business in the bitches final. She's been off the card. And when you look at the card, you think, oh, she's only been off since March. No. She's been off since March 24, when she went lame in the British Breeders' Final at Nottingham behind Acom Felix. Now, that's just unbelievable. 4 trials back, 17, or 2 trials back, 2 sprints, 17, 13, 16, 84, flying trial at Newcastle. She got beat in the heats. No surprise. She let him got beat. She's going to tie up. But Graham, to persevere like that, to be as patient as you have been, to get her back and to win a competition, I probably think that meant more to Jimmy than Scared Josie. And I'm not taking away what Scared Josie's done at all. But when you've had a bitch who's been off the card for, what's that, 16 months, something like that?
16 months, yeah.
That's just unbelievable, isn't it?
It makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it? It's what everyone wants to train in the derby. Everyone wants to win the big races. But I think for trainers, sometimes when you get a greyhound that's been off the car for so long, all the hours you're nursing them back, you're going through fitness routines and physio treatments and things like that. And to get back on the card is one thing, but to win a race like that, again, on big race final like that, is superb for Jimmy Fennick. And like I said, I think it probably means more to him than some of the big race winnings he's had before.
Yeah, and you've seen what it meant to Tony Brearley, Chris as well, and Jimmy, and the vet who was there as well. It was very emotional for him at the time. And I said on the show, we've got people who try and put this sport down and are against it. Doesn't that tell you what these animals and greyhounds mean to people when, she's been null and void really for 16 months in terms of racing. They've been with her every day. They've looked after her every day. And now to come back and do that is just a special achievement for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth there, Joe. Emotional was the word that sprung to mind, looking at the scenes that after the performance that she put in. It meant so much to them all, didn't it? And that tells you all you need to know about the sport. As you said very well on the show that night, just anyone who's against the sport, look at those pictures. It tells you everything. And she didn't come away that well either, but at the early pace was just different class to everything else in the race. And go a long way clear. Just held on. I think everyone, even if you, apart from those who backed against her in the race, everyone else, the neutrals or your Coppice Gracie fans, it was a perfect result, wasn't it? Everyone wanted to see her win after so long off the track, and she did just that.
And it says a lot about the bitch, Michael, as well, Coppice Gracie herself, to get her head down and hold on. She's been off the card that long, as we said. She's been probably lightly worked 2 sprints before this competition. She's had to work hard to hit the front when she didn't really come away, but it says a lot about her, and she's obviously shown that at home in the last 16 months, so she's got a lot about her as well.
Yeah, massive heart showed, make it me challenged late on. I mean, I think it's £1,000 to the winner, but it's not about that. It's like you say, it's the story, it's the kennel, persevering over those months, bringing her back, and to go and win that final, like Chris said, emotional. It's great to see, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely was. So well done to Tony Brearley, to Jimmy Fennick, and all the guys. I don't know the vet's name, so apologies, but well done to her as well. You can see what it meant to herself and all the guys with Coppice Gracie. So massive congratulations to them. Let's hope now she can stay injury free, and she's lightly raced. So she's probably still got another maybe 6 months to a year where she can compete. So yeah, all the best to Coppice Gracie going forward. As we move on to the Time Ground Nutrition Northern Flat Final, I had to watch this about 10 times and try and figure out what was happening, because there was probably you could have fancied all 6 dogs at some stage in the race, I think. It was one of them races where so much was going on. In the end, it went to Newcastle. Michael Smile, we'll start with you. 16-1 anti-post tip at the start of the competition. Darts were thrown and they've landed in the bullseye. Congratulations to you, sir.
Cheers, Joe. Yeah, like you say, it was messy at times. It was competitive. They all had a chance. I think Chaz moved rails at lid rise. I thought Newcastle was going to get squeezed out. Did well to kind of be in a challenging position down the back straight. You had Hardwick Mighty hit the front, and you think, the outside of the field might go on to claim victory. Newcastle got her head down, battled, so you got his head back down, battled well, and got up with I think it was a neck, the official distance. So yeah, it was a thrilling final. Big shout out to the sponsors, Time Greyhound Nutrition. And it was great final, great to see.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of money in at the minute. Willie, Rigney, Shane, Maria, and the guys. So yeah, massive credit to them And thank you for all their sponsorship in the UK and in Ireland as well. But yeah, Graham, you could have fancied Slingshot Shaz when he come away. Then you fancied Unanimous Leon when he turned the second bend. That all changed. Neokra's there. Droopy's Buckham's in the posse. Hardwick Mighty takes it up, and Deliveroo's keeping himself out wide. You think he's going to come and swoop? Dissect that, because that was just... It probably wasn't a final we wanted to see with the trouble, but most important thing, no grounds were harmed in it. They all finished it, and they're all good to go. Unanimous Leon was last, but he just got, as it says, he just got struck into. He was about to swoop round and probably go 2-3 lengths clear, and just had his legs taken away from him. But loads going on, Graham.
Yeah, like you say, at the second bend, I think every single dog found some sort of trouble at the second bend. I mean, even Deliveroo out wide, maybe not physically struck into a second bend, but false wide right between the first and second bend, and then just off the second bend, trying to make a move. He found a bit of trouble as well. But I think every single dog at some point at that second bend probably found some sort of trouble, including the hard luck stories for Droopy's Bookham on the inside of the second bend found trouble as well. Obviously, Nokra, Slingshot Shaz, and Yomas Lee all come together at the second bend as well. So yeah, that's where the context of the race changed massively. I mean, with any sort of clear run there for any runners, any runners could won the race, as it was. Nokra battled run really well to get back in front again from Hardwick Mighty. But yeah, great race behind from Deliveroo and Droopy's Bookham as well, staying on really well at the end.
And the prices, Chris, at the start of the day, Deliveroo was 9-2, 5-1 in the morning. 15-8 favourite. We said draws win races, didn't quite work out for him, but yeah, Neokra battle for John Flaherty, a great performance. And look, we had 6 local trainers in there, but we had a lot of quality in there, didn't we? It was star-studded with what these dogs have done in the past.
Yeah, it was a cracking race and a cracking final, deserving of a Cat 1 final. It's hard to dissect the race. So much happened. But Tom Heelborn's got to feel very unlucky. I think Deliveroo was running a cracking race, just coming up short in 6. Droopy's Bookham was going to turn in a decent pitch. That's staying on nicely. Unanimous Liam was going to go around in front of that second bend. He was coming together with Neokra, and the very hard luck story for all 3 of Tom's. But full credit to Neokra. It didn't have it all its own way. It came together with the Unanimous Lee in the second bend. Had to dig deep to really reel in Hardwick Mighty. So although it was a messy race and there's several hard luck stories, full credit to Neokra because it showed the guts to get back up on the line and ran a massive race. Yeah,
absolutely. That was Thursday. We then had a day off. We had the Romford Opens, of course, Friday night before the action on Saturday. And we're going to start Oxford with the Bet Goodwin Pall Mall final. Now, another fantastic story. The winner, Ginger's Prince, broken shoulder blade not too long ago. So for Patrick Brown and Jay Brown, broken shoulder blade, been off since February, back in July, sorry. So for Patrick and Jay Brown, for Alan Lucas, the owner, just an unbelievable story again, to catch Ryoka Roshi in Union Rebel and to win the Pall Mall, the Bet Goodwin Pall Mall in 26:33 calculated. What a performance from Ginger's Prince. 7-1 on the night. The final was brilliant. Ginger's Prince was in 1, Paradise Sky in 2, Crossfield Enzo 3, Ryoka Roshi in 4, Mad About Peck in 5, Union Rebel 6. Now to give the track 10 slow, Chris, I'm going to start with you. Was that the difference between Ryoka Roshi and holding on and being caught, that track being on the slow side, or is Ginger's Prince just another greyhound who's obviously got a heart of gold, a heart of a lion, and just didn't know when he was beat and managed to pick him up on the line?
It's hard to say really. I mean, the slow track wouldn't have helped Ryoka Roshi, but you don't want to take anything away from Ginger's Prince. I mean, it was a hell of a run to pick up Ryoka Roshi. I mean, favourite backers would have been counting the money as O'Sheen went well cleared on the far side. And I know he's a sprinter, but you still fancied his chances from there, really, given the pace he's got. But yeah, full credit to Ginger's Prince. Got his head down. And if you're going to win your first race of the year, what a time to do it in a Cat 1 final. And I think it's the first Cat 1 winner for Patrick Brown. So yeah, what a time to do it. And it's a great story. You'd love to see these stories where they come back from injuries and win big races. And he's shown a massive heart to do that. So full credit to him.
Yeah, again, Graham, perseverance, patience is key in what they've done with Ginger's Prince. Look, he come back in, I think, 26:40 in one of his first trials back, which just suggests that the Graham was in brilliant order following his injury. And, they're a really good family. They're a good team, the Browns. So they put a lot of work in, and, they're stalwart of ground racing now. So delighted for them to pick that up, and for Alan Lucas as well. But just a great performance. He had the draw on the inside in a race that, if you could probably pick the strong runner out of it, there was loads of early, so Summer had to give. And once he broke the hearts of probably 3 or 4 of these, it was, can you get after Ryokuroshi? And he managed to do that, and it was just a great run. To do 26:33 off the pace at Oxford is a brilliant run, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic performance. I mean, it's a similar scenario to the semi-final last week when Ryokuroshi actually beat Ginger Prince by 3 or 4 lengths. Obviously, Ryokuroshi led around the first couple of bends, built up for about 4 or 5 length lead, and Ginger Prince couldn't do enough of that on that time to reel him in. But I think the lead on Saturday on the back straight was only probably 2 to 3 lengths going to the final bend. And that's probably close enough for Ginger Prince. I think, I can chase this one down. I can chase him down. Obviously got there on the line, and obviously fantastic performance for Patrick Brown. His first Category 1 title to his name. It's just an all-round remarkable performance after an injury again.
Yeah, Michael, he's got 500-metre form at Toaster and at Hove. Ryokuroshi, and we know was sprinting form, but connections will be gutted. This has been the plan for months on end. When we listened to him, I think it was in Nottingham when he was in around the national sprint, and when he wouldn't have gone to Dogs Night, we done it at Nottingham. I think the plan was, look, everything's going towards the Pall Mall. We're going to step him back up then. So for that plan to come to work, and you're a short head away from executing that plan to absolute perfection, they must be sick.
Yeah, Ryokuroshi ran a cracker, to be fair. He done what he does. He gets out. He was 3 or 4 lengths clear, but I think at the third bend, Ginger's Prince was brave. He drove up the inside of Union Rebel. And like Graham said, he set his sights on the leader. And I think off the final bend, I think the writing was on the wall. I thought he ran a cracker to get up on the line. He was beaten in the trial stakes, the Bet Goodwin Pall Mall trial stakes. He was beaten in the first round. He was beaten in the semi-finals. But when it mattered, he got his head down, but he got the victory. And like the lads have said, massive shout out to the kennel for bringing him back from the injury. The first Category 1 success. It's a fantastic story, Joe.
That's all it's about, though. Qualifying, get through. Finish third, and then finish second in the semi-final to make sure you're in the final to give yourself a chance of doing that. And look, Kevin Hurton will be gutted, but he'll be thrilled for Patrick and Jade as well. I seen a tweet not long ago when he says, I don't know, on about the Alan's face in the picture. He didn't look too happy, and Kevin said that was me walking off the track on Saturday. But deep down, he was laughing about it. But deep down, Kevin will be thrilled for Patrick and Jade. He's a top man. Him and Donna are a great team. So yeah, congratulations to Ginger's Prince from all of us here at Gone to Dogs. A brilliant performance, and we're going to see more of him to come in the future. I'm guessing Monmore might be the plan now for someone like Ginger's Prince. The Gold Cup coming up, you'd think it'd be tailor-made to that. So look, we shall see as we move on to Hove now. Wow, what a night of racing. The stars were on show again, semi-finals of the Coral Sussex Cup and the PGR Regency. We're going to start with the Regency. Garfinney Blaze, you couldn't fancy him before round 1 after what we saw at Sheffield. Just goes to show, horses for courses, tracks are different. He didn't like Sheffield, but Michael, he absolutely loves these big long straights and this track at Hove, doesn't he? 41.57, beating Droopy's Invent, who ran a massive race to qualify from a tough draw in 5.
You said no one can fancy him. I think Chris actually put him up anti-post, so there's someone that, on the air. Yeah, there's always one. Yeah, it was a massive run. I thought Droopy's Invent actually did well to hold on for second because I didn't think he'd be able to stay out the trip, to be honest. So yeah, that was a big run for the Seamus Cahill runner. Garfinney Blaze back to something like his best. Yeah, it's really interesting going into the final. It looks ultra competitive, Joe.
It does. And Chris, let's come to you then. You put him up, was it 14-1? I think he was. You 14?
It was Joe, yeah. 14, something like that. Yeah, just looking at his Hove record, I was willing to give him a little bit more of a chance. I wasn't writing him off too soon. He's been a class dog in his time, and just there was signs there that prior to Sheffield, when he did a nice run before that he still got it, and he's certainly shown it in the 2 rounds here at Hove. He's going to have to come away better in the final, but yeah, it was classic Garfinney Blaze, really, powering through the field to win, going away from Droopy's Invent. There's a nice performance, and has he got the red in the final? I think so. Yes, so he's he'll be delighted with that big performance, and yeah, he's going to have to come away better in the final, but he's there. He's got his chance. He's going to take his chance on Saturday.
Yeah, and he was the first of 3. Graham, 4, Mark Wallace. We'll come to them in a minute, but just a brilliant run. But let's give a word to Droopy's Invent as well, because he had a horrendous draw in 5. He's a bang railer, so to get across and lead 14-11 split, he's come away running. That's some sectional that he's clocked there, and he had to do that to give himself a chance, didn't he? So a great performance from him for Seamus Cahill. For Dave Lawrence, of course, one of our producers at at Gonta Dogs as well, and the guys. So, a great performance from Droopy's in bed. Let's give a word for him because he's in a big final.
Yeah, absolutely. He lines up. It's like a chance fair on the square, isn't he? I mean, the way he come out the traps and stuff, he just banged out, like say, 4-11 sectional. Went well cleared, and you're thinking at that point, will he hold on? But then you see Garth and Ebay's working way through the field, and you realise it's going to be a matter of time before he does get overtake Troopers Invent. But he stayed on pretty well for second place. The clocks said he's got a lot to do in the final to feature in the final with these strong runners as well. But if he goes off the front and there's trouble behind, you never know what can happen in the final.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great performance from him. He's got 5 again in the final, which they won't be happy with. But we're going to move on to semi-final 2 now. So much going on here. We had the big guns at Romeo Empire, Vega, Brett and Molly, All Right Gordy to a degree, Torona Bella, Ledger finalists, and Ballariga Bob finalists, and of course Art Riddler. The winner, who went on to win at 11-1, beating Romeo Empire. We lost Vega, we lost Brett and Molly, we lost All Right Gordy, and we lost Torona Bella. Michael, I'm going to start with you. So much going on here. It was a cracking race. Vega, we always had that. I love this competition, but I hate the short run to the bend starts because it just doesn't give. I know she turned second from the second bend, so she held every chance. But if she led, she definitely she would have won, wouldn't she? She would have been in front, and that would have been that. She'd missed the break, and that was always a concern, I suppose, from us when we done a preview review that was the case. Just a missed break on the short run to the bend, you're always going to be in big trouble, and that was the case for Vega.
Yeah, we highlighted it on the previous show, Joe. We said, like, someone's always got to go, using the boxing phrase. All eyes were on Romeo Empire and, of course, Vadal. Vadal did slightly miss the break, like you say. Her 4-bend pace made her, turn in a pitch, but I think all eyes were on Art Riddler from about the 4th bend onwards. He was cutting through the pack, and the writing was on the wall off the final bend, and he's a strong type from the KO kennel, and deserved winner on the night.
Yeah, 2 through 4, Seamus, Teresa, and the team. And Chris, we did say someone's always got to go. We didn't expect both to go, but a cracking performance from Art Riddler to come from off the pace. Romeo Empire, he's shown that speed. Look, he's going to come on for that again. He didn't lead. Torona Bella took him along early. But a cracking performance from Art Riddler to come from off the pace to beat these dogs as comfortably as he did was a great performance.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. First, I hope everything's okay with Torona Bella because after leading, she seemed to drop away quite quickly. So I hope everything's okay with her. But yeah, I don't think Romeo Empire necessarily lost anything in defeat. Ran a nice race, took up from Torona Bella and ran its race. But as Michael said, Art Riddler's a real strong runner. When he was there and thereabouts on the second circuit, you always thought that he's going to be thereabouts, and he's got up on the line. But yeah, I think that both the first and second can come away with a lot of credit. And Romeo Empire will, I wouldn't, he's going to take his chance in the final. He's still got he's got a massive future over 6 bends still. I don't think he lost anything in defeat, really.
Just watching it back again, I would say maybe Gracilis, Torona Bella. They seem to, you see them kind of check and stop, and then they do carry on. They kind of finish the race, and she got beat 6.5, 7, 8. She got beat about 12 lengths in the end. So maybe Gracilis, Graham.
Yeah, I mean, you probably would say so. If it had been more serious than that, she may would have pulled herself up or stopped down the back straight. But the fact that she carried on, was to say only beating 12 lengths at the end, would probably suggest
she's had a stomach. She's with them at the draw.
Yeah. That will suggest maybe a Gracilis or muscle.
Yeah, but look, let's go back to the race, and of course, we all hope that Torona Bella is okay. She's a cracking bitch. Yeah. She's very consistent. Ballariga Bob final, Ledger finalist. She's a really, really nice bitch. But Graham, a great performance. We spoke about Art Riddler. Let's talk about Romeo Empire. He's in the final. That is the most important thing. He's got a better draw in this final in Trap 2. You can't rule him out because he's full of pace. And look, if he got off the front, he'd take a lot of stock, wouldn't he?
Yeah, exactly, Joe. I mean, like we said a second ago, the short run to the bend. If you're a dog with a good early pace, like the Droopers Invent or Romeo Empire, you hit the front run the first couple of bends. It only takes a bit of trouble behind. You're suddenly 3, 4, 5 lengths clear. The strong runners, hold each other up. There's no reason why a Droopers Invent or a Romeo Empire can't go and win this final.
Absolutely. As we move on to semi-final 3 now, this dog is just, you run nasty, but the change of pace from the fourth bend to the fifth bend is out of this world. Now, he's beating like proper dogs again here. I know this is probably a weak enough race for him, and 2 to 5 looked a massive prize now when you watch him. But Mongy's Wild, 41-12 from off the pace is just sensational, Graham. Like, he's a dog of a lifetime. I don't think Connections probably knew what they had when they got him. They probably thought he's going to be very, very good. He's probably exceeded expectations, obviously. 41-12, beating Bombay Nutty, giving Mark a 1, 2, and 3 in the final, beating him by 6.5 lengths. He's a dog of a lifetime.
Absolutely. I mean, we did our preview show, didn't we, before the first round, and we were all sort of saying 11 to 10, even money's probably a bit short among his Wild. Do you want to say that sort of price? And we were saying probably not. We tried to find something to beat it, but even money in the final, you think, you know, that's a massive price. He's more to be a 2 to 5, 1 to 3 in the final, probably. You can't see him getting beat over 6 bends, can you? Or even 8 bends. There's nothing, I don't think, now in the country over 6 or 8 bends that can beat him with a clear run. And, you know, even without a clear run on Saturday, he still won by 6.5 going away. You know, he's been credited 3 times. And how do you get him beat? You know, it's virtually impossible to get him beat. He's probably the best staying dog over 6 and 8 bends we've seen over the last 10 years at least, maybe more.
Yeah, it's been crowded 3-4 times, Chris, and still gone over 5 lengths quicker than the 2 of the semi-finals. He's just he's a freak. He really is. Because, look, people say maybe the quality isn't there. I think we've got a good 6 bend field at the minute. When you're stepping up Romeo, Empire, you've got Vega, etc. They can't live with him. They just can't.
No, it's frightening really just how good he is. You know, you think about he's doing 41-12 from after he turned last. It's for doing that from off the pace and thinking about a competition with it. It's probably a couple 100 yards short of his best trip. He's the short runs, the bend's probably not in his favour, and yet he's still doing these sort of performances and posting these times from off the pace. It's frightening really just how good he is, and you know he could be landing a third category 1 of the year already, and we're only in July, or it'll be August on Saturday. But he's a hell of a dog, and yeah, it's frightening to see what he's doing over 6 and 8 bends.
Yeah, Michael, he's just a free. But let's talk about Bombay Nutty. 1-2 for Mark Wallace. He loved the obvious forecast. He had to battle really hard to qualify, and in the end, he qualified comfortably by 5.5 lengths of rules for some. But a great performance from Mark and the team. 1-2, Mongy's Wild, Bombay Nutty, and a gutsy performance in second.
Yeah, he done well to qualify, Joe. I think at the third bend he showed nice middle, and you think he might hit the front. He got blocked at that moment from the sort of like the leaders, and then all eyes were on Mongy's Wild. But yeah, he stayed on very well, like you say. 1-2 for the kennel. All eyes on the final. We put a vote out, a poll out on the Twitter feed about a week or two ago about Mongy's Wild. Mark Wallace said the best since Ballyregan Bob. So that went rather well. That was a hotly debated poll. So yeah, he's obviously singing the praises there. I can't see him, like the lad said, can't see him getting beat over 6 or 8 bends in the coming months. He's an absolute machine.
Yeah, we've got about 8 minutes left, so we're going to run through, but we will go through the draw quickly. Trap 1, Garfinny Blaze. Trap 2, Romeo Empire. Trap 3, Mongy's Wild. Trap 4, Art Riddler. 5, Jupiter Invent, and 6 is Bombay Nutty. Guys, quickly, give me your TriCast in the final. We know we're all in Mongy's Wild. What's going to be second and third? Graham, we'll start with you.
Okay, we're going Mongy's Wild to win. We'll go Romeo Empire for second, and we'll go with Art Riddler in third.
Yeah, Michael?
It's exactly. I'm going to follow Graham in there. That's exactly what I had picked out. I think Romeo Empire will lead. I think Mongy's Wild will take the victory, and I think Art Riddler will stay on for third.
Chris?
Yeah, Mongy's Wild, no surprise for me, but I'll go Garfinny Blaze second and Romeo Empire third.
Okay, I'm going to go Mongy's Wild, Bombay Nutty, and Romeo Empire. There you go. For what it's worth, as we move on to, and also just quick, St Ledger, 7:30 Nottingham. Yes, please, Mongy's Wild. Right, perfect for him, isn't it?
Who can beat him?
That's the question.
No, a triple be ideal for him, Martin.
Yeah, right. Let's get through the Coral Sussex Cup, and we started with a bouter. King Memphis was up against Proper Heiress, Chowns Bear, No Bear, Feeling Romeo, Tomcat, Mossridge, Cardiff. We said beforehand it could be a final. Proper Heiress, guys. He just loves this place, doesn't he? I don't know who I'm going to start with. I'm just going to open the floor to you quickly. 29.57, beating Challenge Bear 11th and 3/4. 4.38 split. Proper Heiress is back, Chris.
Yeah, massive performance. He absolutely loves this place, doesn't he? You know, impressive Olympic last year. And he's been brilliant in both rounds of the Sussex Cup so far. Going into the first bend, crossing the winning line for the first time, he wasn't quite just in front, but he's shown that pace from the winning line to the first bend to get round in front, and then it was game over. Challenge Bear, as he does, did a hell of a lot of running from halfway to close it to a length and 3/4. But once Proper Heiress got the first bend lead, he was never going to be picked up. And a good, cracking performance, because it was a really good race. To win that race comfortably is a hell of a performance, and he might take some beating on Saturday.
Yeah, Graham, this dog starts and no, he stays. He's not one of these that off the front you're thinking he's questionable. Once he leads, it's all over.
Exactly. He paced like Chris said, he didn't lead early doors, but the pace to the first bend shown was, phenomenal. Grew up a decent lead. Once he hits the front, over 4 bends, he's not going to get picked up at all. The likes of Charles Bear again, a superb race, closing down to the length and 3/4 at the finish. But it's in some ways it's kind of the Olympic final last year, when Proper Heiress beat Chelmsford Bear in the final. Proper Heiress led early doors. Chelmsford Bear chased him down, couldn't quite reel him in. But I think you might see a similar scenario again Saturday in the final.
Like, that's King Memphis in one, by the way, Michael, that he's now trapped by and he's leading to the bend. Like, he's got a proper dog inside him that he's come away just behind, and he's led him a length into the bend. That takes some doing.
Yeah, a 4.38 sectional. But like you say, it was the pace from kind of like the winning line into the first bend that really caught your eye. And once on the bunny, the 29.57's a massive run. Very strong favourite, around 4-7 for the final. It's looking like Matt Wallace has got a good hand in both competitions.
Certainly has. And Challenge Bear, a great performance from him to qualify in second as well. A great performance from Craig Morris. He's found he's brought that spark back in this dog. I think Craig Morris, he's doing good things with him. So good luck to them. Yep. Our second semi-final, bit of a boil over. We lost Banaman Kobe, New and Benny. Fallers at the first and second bend, so hopefully they are okay. But Quill Quids went on to win for Esther Driver. The brilliant, I suppose, last 2-3 months continues for Esther Driver. Semi-finalist of the Derby with no better feeling. Beating Our Mystery by a head in 30.54. Look, a whole second behind, but there was plenty going on, Graham, in this race. We'll quickly get through these two. We are running out of time. So a great performance from Quill Quids and Our Mystery to qualify in what was a bit of a boil over.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a messy affair. Like you say, the Bella Kobe and New and Benny both fell at between the second bends. Hopefully they're both okay. But I think, was it Matt put up Quill Quids on our preview show before the start of the first round? I think Matt put up Quill Quids at a decent price each way for his competition. Obviously, he's coming from off the pace on Saturday to really an Our Mystery. But yeah, I think Matt would be quite happy with that if he's backed him. I think it's quite a decent price as well, possibly early on.
Was that Matt or was that me?
Was it you? I don't know. It was someone, wasn't it?
Don't say I mean you. Don't you dare say we look like each other, you cheeky. Hold on. But, yeah, Michael, Chris, just quickly, we have got under 4 minutes left, so we've got to rattle through. But Esther Driver, it just continues for us. She's in brilliant form at the minute. Her dogs are running really well.
Yeah. Great, Michael. So, yeah, sorry, Matt. I am.
Yeah, but talk at the same time.
Yeah, I think a big performance to get through to the final. Should be delighted with that. Or a Mystery blazed the trail, but couldn't hold off Quill Quids. Hopefully, Balamet Kobe and New and Benny are all right. But yeah, just to get through to the final, should be Esther will be delighted with that for Quill Quids.
Yeah, and that's sad to lose the two big guns in the race. Michael, of course, New and Benny, Balamet Kobe. We hope they are okay first and foremost.
Yeah, of course. Just to echo what the guys have said, hope they're okay. Hope we see them back on the track soon. There was actually a bit of money rounds with 12 quid. I think 9s, 10s was available throughout the day, went off at 5. So, someone clearly fancied. Our Mystery led rounds. And yeah, Quill Quid's done well to sort of nail them on the line.
Okay, semi-final 3. A bit of a turn-up. Queen Shakira loves Hove. She got the better of Slick Sentinel, beating him by a short head in 30.23. He popped out Slick Sentinel as he does, but again, he's just in another big final. We'll talk about him first quickly. He just makes every final, or near enough, in the competitions that he goes into, Graham. He's just an unbelievable, consistent dog for Keith and Pat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it helps, I think, as well being a wide runner, because there's so few pacey wide runners at the moment. I think if he breaks out in front, he can get a decent draw all the time and keep qualifying like he did for the Derby. Obviously got through to the through to the semi-finals in the derby. But I think these sort of competitions as well, where you've got a shortage of railers, if he bangs out in front, gets his draw, keep getting his draw all the time, and he battled really well Saturday. He didn't quite enough to get back in Queen Shakira back in again. But he's got a good makeup against Saturday. He's probably got a bit to do on the clock with Papa Heiress, but on his better break, one of his better breaks, you never know what can happen in the final again.
That was not as short as we needed, but a good explanation. So good stuff, Graham. As we move on, we're going to talk about Queen Shakira. Great to see Liz and Rab back in another big final with her. She's a consistent bitch, Chris, and she's done this really well to lead there and hold off Slick Sentinel with a good performance from her.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we talk about Slick Sentinel's consistency, but Queen Shakira is equally as consistent. Another massive performance. She won the first round. Another big performance, and she's 3.5 years old now, but seems to be there's no sign of her slowing down just yet.
Michael, I'm going to come to you first, and I'm going to ask for you tricast in the final. We're all going to be with proper heiress. I just want the second and the third. Michael, fire away. The final is Our Mystery in 1. It is proper heiress 2, Queen Shakira 3, Charles Bear 4, Crow Quids 5, Slick Sentinel 6. Give me the first 3 quickly.
Proper heiress to beat Slick Sentinel with Charles Bear in third.
That looks fairly obvious, so well done to you. Graham?
I'll go Papa Heiress to beat Chelms Bear with Slick Sentinel back in third.
Thank you. Chris?
I'm going to take a bit of a chance on this. I think they get very tight on the inside. I like Slick Sentinel's draw out wide. So I'm going to go Slick Sentinel's cause a bit of an upset. Proper Heiress second, Chelms Bear third.
What a way to finish. I'm going to be with Proper Heiress to beat Chelms Bear and Slick Sentinel. So I think, we're all there or thereabouts. Guys, thank you for your time. We're less than a minute. I'm not sure how long we've got left, but there's going to be plenty more of these to come through Gone to the Dog. So thank you for your time, and we'll see you all soon.